Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to a brand new mod spotlight. This time taking a look at just enough items. Those of you who've seen any mod in 1.10 have probably seen me interacting with this nifty little thing over on the right, which is JEI, or Just Enough Items, which is a spiritual successor to the item and recipe features that existed in mods like NEI, which was not enough items, and TMI, which was too many items. We're running out of names for mods like this. Just Enough Items is around for 1.10, and it's a pretty cool mod, and it's definitely taken storm of the modding community. Lots of mod authors are writing plugins for it, and lots of mod authors are making their recipes available in it. So this spotlight will cover some of the obvious features, like how to look up recipes for items, and some of the less obvious features that you may not be aware of. So let's get started taking a look at Just Enough Items. So first off, you've got the ability to look up recipes for items. That's the main feature of JEI. Being able to figure out how to make stuff. In modded Minecraft, there's a lot of recipes to remember, and it gets really quickly very difficult to track down all the different recipes that you need for a mod, let alone when you have 100 mods installed. JEI is your answer. So to look up a recipe for an item, simply left-click on it. Sandstone. Boom. Here's how you make sandstone. You'll see there's a lot of different ways to make sandstone. So for example, typically, just 4 pieces of sand get you some sandstone. You can also combine some 4 sandstone stairs to get 3 sandstone. Neat. You can also get it with sandstone slabs and a couple other recipes. You can also click the buttons at the top here to see what other machines or what other mods or what other ways there are to get sandstone. So for example, if we click here, you can see you can get it through chiseling. Nice. You can also get it through the Compressor, which is an item from Industrial Craft 2, and if you mouse over on the left here, you can see details about it. Nice. You can also get it from the Alchemy Tome Crafting, which is done in a vanilla crafting table with the Tome of Alchemy. You can also get it from a carpenter if you've got it created. You can also find it in World Gen, and you can find it in the world typically around Y level 65. It's around 0.25% chance. Way down at Y level 0, you're not going to find it too much, and way up at Y level high, like 125 and 255, are pretty low chances. Very cool. Another example might be glass. We can see how to make glass. There's a bunch of recipes and crafting tables, and then you can also do smelting. You'll also notice on the left here that smelting breaks down the category of all the mods items that you have that allow smelting, and you can easily click on one to find out the recipe for that item. Neat. Other examples might be chiseling, alloy smeltery, furnace, etc. It should also be noted with the World Gen component, this isn't strictly part of Just Enough Items. It's part of a mod called Just Enough Resources, which is a companion mod to Just Enough Items. So keep that in mind. If you don't have Just Enough Resources, you might not see the World Gen section. There are a lot of companion mods to Just Enough Items that add little features to the JEI mod. You'll also notice at the top there are buttons to change pages. Obviously pretty straightforward, so every time you click the button, you'll notice there are 157 pages worth of items in my current mod instance, and depending on the number of mods you have and the number of items those mods add, that number is most likely going to be different. If you're looking for a specific item, just search for it on the bottom. So for example, furnace, and we'll find all the furnaces. Cool. You can then look up the recipe. You can also right-click on an item to find what items in the game use that item in the recipe. So for example, the steam locomotive uses furnaces in its recipe. You can do this with R to look up a recipe and U to look up what items, or left click and right click. Cool. So here are all the items that use furnaces in the recipe somehow. And then you can also see fuel, smelting, etc. It also supports searching for specific mods. So for example, if we want to find all the refined items mod items, you just put the @ symbol in front of the name of the mod. And now anything that matches REF in the mod name is going to be shown on the screen. So here are all the items and blocks from refined storage. And here are all the items and blocks from Ender.io. Neat. You can also search more specifically by doing the name of the mod, so REF, then a space, and if you're looking for something specific, you can type the item name, so exporter and external storage from refined storage. Neat. If you were just searching for EX by itself, you'd see there's a lot more items here with the letters EX in them. If you want to search for something in the OR dictionary by the OR dictionary name, you can use the $sign. So for example, if we're searching for copper, you'll see there's a lot of items here, like copper arrows and copper broadswords. However, if we want to search for things that have the word copper in their OR dictionary name, you can just hit the $sign copper, and here's all things that have their OR dictionary have the word COPP in it, or copper. Nice. Another one you can search for is by colors using the up arrow. So Shift 6, which is the caret symbol, allows you to search for colors. This doesn't search for the word in the name. So for example, if we looked for blue, we would see there's about 3 pages of blocks with the word blue in the name, including things like blueprints. Cool. But if we did caret blue, we would see there are 9 pages, and we'll see stuff that doesn't even have the word blue in the name. So for example, Rune of Water doesn't have the word blue in the name, but there's a blue on the texture. The same for the Ring of Cordata. Nice. So you can see what colors are on there with the tooltip. Neat. When you go ahead and do pink, for example, you'll see all the items that have some semblance of pink on them. Super cool. This is really good for builders, by the way, if you're looking for blocks that match the color structure that you're going for. By default, this is turned off. So go into your config option by clicking on the wrench down here and enable color search. It requires extra processing, so by default, it's disabled. If you try to search for it with it disabled, you'll find it not working. Speaking of the config menu, there's lots of things available in here. So for example, item cheating mode. If you're an admin on a server, or if you're in a single player world with cheats enabled, you can turn on item cheating mode. Now when you left click on an item, instead of looking at the recipe, you get a stack of it. Right clicking gives you one item, left clicking gives you an entire stack. Another really useful thing is item hiding mode. If you turn on item hiding mode, it allows you to hide certain types of items in mods and in vanilla Minecraft. So for example, let's say that I didn't want to see wool, right? We could control click to hide it. Now you'll see that its background is yellow and it says it's hidden. White wool is now hidden. When we turn off item hiding mode, white wool is no longer shown in JEI. It starts at orange. There is no white wool shown in JEI. If we go back to item hiding mode, we can see it's still there, and we can control left click again to remove it. Control right click will hide with wildcard, and it will hide similarly matching items. So now by control right clicking, you can see it's red, which means hidden with wildcard, and control shift click to hide by mod ID. That hides everything from the same mod, which in this case would be vanilla Minecraft, which we probably don't want to hide. So we'll leave this setting and turn off item hiding mode, and we'll see no wool. Neat. How is this useful? Well, there's a couple examples of when this might be useful. So let's unhide, control right click to show. Let's look at facades. There's 53 pages of facades from Applied Energistics. We probably don't want to see all those. So we're going to control click to hide all the facades. Nice. Now when we turn off item hiding mode, we no longer see all those facades taking up our inventory screen. Super cool. The only facades we see are the ones from Ender.io. And the final option on this page is center search bar. With true, it brings the search bar into the center of the screen as opposed to the bottom right of JEI. Easy, simple change. There are some other search options in here, so you can require the @ symbol for the mod name, the caret for the colors. You can also search by creative tab name by using the %, and then $ for or dictionary. You can also require pound for the tooltip. So maybe by default, it's searching for the tooltip name, and if you don't want to search by tooltip name, you can add the £, and require it. A final note on searching, you can put a pipe symbol, which is shift and I think it's /. So if we want to search for wrenches and hammers, we could do that, and we'll see all wrenches and hammers. Pretty neat. And again, right click clears the search box, which is super useful. When looking up recipes for things, if you want to paste it into a crafting table, there's a couple different options. So first off, we can see the recipe for cobblestone making a furnace. You'll notice that there's this little plus symbol. If this was a 2x2 recipe, it could be put into your vanilla crafting table in your player's inventory. However, since it's not, it's going to require a crafting table to be open. Now when we look it up, we can shift click to move items in there. It will move as many items as in your inventory to match the recipe. So in this example, we had plenty. We can make 8 furnaces. Cool. In the example of pistons, for example, we might need some cobblestone, some iron, let's get 3, some redstone, let's get a stack, and some wood. If we now look up pistons, and we shift click, notice it only moved 3 sets of items. We were limited by the number of iron that we have. We only had 3 iron, so it moved as much as it could, and it lets me make the 3 pistons. Cool. If you want to just transfer 1 set of items, instead of shift clicking, you can just regular click on the plus, and it'll set 1 set of items up there, even though you could do multiples if you wanted to. With a shift click, it'll do as much as you can. Another nice feature is that a lot of the UIs, depending on if the mod author added it, most of them exist for vanilla, but some mods may have added this, some may not, have right somewhere in the UI like kind of a little hidden button that says show recipes, and if you click on it, you can see all the recipes that exist for this. So here's all the recipes that a furnace can make. 111 pages of them. Nice. And you can also see a lot of the fuel information here. So smelts 1.5 items, burn time 300, and you can see all the different items that can be used for fuel and how long they last. Awesome. It should be noted that hitting U on a furnace in your inventory or right-clicking on a furnace in the right-hand side here will show you the same information. And as a reminder, you don't have to use R and U on the right-hand side. You can look up a recipe for an item that's in your inventory if you already have it. Those obviously require the hotkeys of R and U. And that's about all there is to cover, guys. JEI is obviously a super useful and staple mod of most mod packs anymore. And I just wanted to make sure you guys knew a lot of the subtle features that were available. Hopefully you learned something. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the functionality that this gives by default, but some of the advanced stuff, especially the ability to turn on hiding mode and some of the other options like search options, are pretty useful. Like I said, there's a bunch of add-ons for this that add features and functionality. For now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the mod spotlight on JEI. Take it easy.